Hi, I am back here with part 3 of the Time Tamers series. This is probably the most important lesson. So I hope you have watched 1 and 2 and that you're arriving today with your lists in hand. This is an important teaching. So I am going to help you see the secret to balancing your schedule. Reminder that if you are stressed out every day, this is not God's will for you. He calls you to certain things and he gives you enough time to do it. So if it's out of balance, there's changes that you can make. We do not want to squander our lives barely surviving because we're under stress. We want to take control of the schedule one day at a time so that not only are we producing the work that God would have us produce, but we're doing it in a spirit-filled way that is gratifying to us and impactful on the people in our life. So let's remind ourselves here of why this is essentially a spiritual exercise that we want the Lord's impact on. We have this lust for more time, but we truly are limited by time, energy, finances, space. So what we're trying to do in this workshop is get your day into a sweet budget where you have enough hours to cover the tasks that you've been called to. And when you hit that sweet spot, you will be finding your days to be pleasant. They will be filled with work. You'll be tired at the end of the night, but you will have a feeling of satisfaction. You will get that sense of well done, and you won't have that exhaustion and frustration of not only working harder than you wish you had to, but responding to people in stress-induced ways because of the shortage of time. That's what really gets at our hearts at night. So we're not trying to bring the schedule under control or to master the schedule so we can live a life of ease. We want to bring it in under control so we can live a life that is led by the Spirit and not by a relentless grind of deadlines. So we're going to steward our resources well, our resource of time well. That's the goal, because if we overspend, we have more expenses money-wise, rather that are beyond our income, we will be stressed. If we consume more calories than our metabolism can metabolize, we will be overweight. So if we have more stuff than fits into our our allotted space of our home, of our cabinet, of our counter, we will experience stress. So we want to live within any of the boundaries that God gives us. If I have a lower energy level than you do, then I'm not going to try to pack in everything you can fit into a day, because I can't do that and maintain my peace, my calm, and my sense of well-being. So we want to hit that sweet spot of contentment where we are stewarding well the hours that God gives us. Here we go. So I asked you to write some lists. You were doing some observations of where your trouble spots are right now, where life is feeling out of control. You were to be praying about and writing down what you think a good day would look like. All right. And I offered to give you help. So please keep reaching out, because a daily routine, I like to call it a routine, a rhythm rather than a schedule, because it serves you. You're not going to be a slave to it, but I believe they're very, very personal. Each person has a different set of plates that they are juggling, and I would love to help you with that. So you should have been taking notes first without judging, making your list of what you'd like to add, what you'd like your day to look like. We talked about priorities last time, of making sure you get the foundation of your heart, your temple, your body, your relationship with the Lord first, then putting on your list time to nurture the most important relationships beyond your relationship with God, which is your marriage if you're married, and your family if you are caring for young ones, and everything else will fit in there somehow. So you get those bottom parts of the pyramid locked in place, rocks in the river that will not budge, and all these other things will fall into place If we don't prioritize, we will be pulled apart by endless distractions, needs, voices. So I hope you've done your work. And so that's really what you've worked on so far. And we're going to look at the next parts today about eliminating, automating, delegating. Your homework was to write your list. So hopefully you have your list. You've got it all laid out, everything that you want to do, not in any order. This is what people want to do right away. They want to put it into a scheduled chart and then start knocking it out. But that is where this workshop, where this method, where this approach is very different. We've all written these out and crashed after day 1, day 2, right? So let's not do that quite yet. We're going to get there because we're going to focus on one day and eventually let that be turned into a pleasant week. But this is what you're going to do next. Please do not skip this step. This is where the magic is, my friend. You've got your random lists of everything that you would like to fit into a day. And now you are going to assign time allotments for each item without placing them in any sort of order. We're still kind of in dream mode. Okay, so here's my lists. I just made this up, right? So this is for me, for Susan. I would like 7 hours of sleep. I'd like to get a full half hour for a shower. So those point totals are portions of an hour. I would like 7 hours of sleep. I would like a full half hour for a shower. I would love to have 45 minutes to spend with the Lord. I would like to exercise at the gym for 1 hour a day. I would like to not cram breakfast in while I'm running out to the car. I would like, please, 30 minutes for breakfast, 30 minutes for lunch, dinner. Let's all sit around the table for 45 minutes. Oops, gotta prepare dinner. That takes 45 minutes. Oops, I gotta prepare lunches for myself and everyone else. Oh, I would love to have my house in tip-top condition. So I'm allotting an hour for that. There's always errands to be run. Let's just put an hour for that. Wouldn't it be nice if me and Tom could, I'm making up a name, watch a half hour of television every night? That seems like such a nice daily routine. I would love to not feel guilty about not being caught up with mom. Emails, let's just put it on the list because I'm constantly being buried by emails. If I just put an hour in every day to answer everything that I need to, reading aloud to the kids, etc., etc., etc. I put what is often what a busy Christian woman's life looks like. She's picking up groceries. She might be working a part-time job. She's serving at church. She's got to walk the dog 3 times. She's running the kids ministry. She's ushering at church. And I do realize that right now some of these activities are not daily, but we're just getting them on the list. We're just brainstorming everything that needs to be done. Girl Scouts, seems like every day there's some mom I need to call or some craft item I need to pick up. Oh, don't forget picking up the kids from school. It really does take 45 minutes because I'm standing in line, I'm chatting with other parents, dropping them off, same thing. I might get a train on the way there, might get red lights. Oh, I would love to just cuddle up with a good book every day. Oop, I want to be there to help my kids with homework. I need to have one-on-one time where I'm not just barking at my teens, but really getting to know them. Maybe I can just spend a half hour. Oh, and I need to talk with my husband. Susan said I need to prioritize that relationship. Oh, bedtime routine. That's a good hour. Yada, yada. Oh, love to pick up sewing. I really want to learn Italian on Duolingo. She told me to put the big project in there. That's the basement redo. Got to make sure I get ready for women's small group. Oh, and there's choir practice. It's every night right before Christmas. Got to go over those. Okay, are you getting exhausted? Okay, are you getting exhausted? I am just looking at this list. But we're not just going to cut things out now. This is what we're going to do. There's a deficit there. And you know how I know it? Because when I take the list and I assign reasonable time allotments to it, I need to add them all up. And if they do not equal 24 hours, this is where I'm going to be. This is where the problem lies, and this is where the solution lies. Got it? So what you're going to do now is go back to that list, and you will eliminate what you must. You're going to automate what you can. You're going to delegate what you can. You're going to tweak and tweak and tweak and tweak. So let's go back here and say, you know what? 7 hours is probably a bit much. I'm going to change that one to 6.5 hours. I can't exercise an hour a day. Maybe 3 times a week I can exercise, and 2 times a week I will spend that 1 hour on small group. Okay, so I've now just eliminated 1 hour. Dinner prep, you know what? I don't have time for it, but I have a teen who doesn't have enough to do. I'm going to offload 1 dinner prep every other day with my teens, and that can be my one-on-one time with them as well. So now dinner prep has freed up my one-on-one time with my teen. I can check in with them. They're learning a useful skill, and dinner's still getting made. Lunch prep. You know what? I think I'm gonna put that, I'm gonna pay one of my kids to make the lunches for the littles every day. Now I've delegated. Automating, house cleaning. Well, maybe I can't have the whole house clean every day, so I am just going to do house cleaning of 1 room for 30 minutes a day instead of a full hour every day. That's also something I can delegate. I can decide to farm that out if I have the money to do it. Errands definitely works well to commit 2 hours of errands on 1 day a week rather than, you know, the driving there and back every day of the week. You can save time. I might have to save that TV watching for Saturday nights. I might have to limit my phone calls to mom to 3 times a week, and on the alternate days, I will learn Italian. So that is what your job is right now, is to work with this list over and over and over again. I would suggest with pencil. Keep assigning, reassigning, dividing up. I wanted one-on-one time with every child every day. We had 5 children, so I had to change it to one-on-one time with a child each day of the week. So each child got one-on-one time with me. And the other days during one-on-one time with the child, the remaining children had sibling time with each other. I couldn't take an Italian course, but I could sneak in Duolingo for 5 minutes a day. I couldn't do sewing every day, but I could put that into a 30-minute chunk every other day. And on the intervening days, I did my civic committee work. What women often find is they say yes to way too many things. And once they realize that they're saying yes to too many things is causing them to need 28 hours in a day, they feel defeated on a regular basis. So you might have to make some hard choices to pull out of things that you're involved in. Christian women are usually not involved in blatant sin, but they're involved in too many good things. If you have 28 hours worth of activities, you will go to bed every night feeling defeated, because it's impossible. It's a setup for discouragement. You have goals for yourself that are unreachable. And much as you might want to give mom 30 minutes, each teen an hour, read out loud, get your sewing going, get that painting up on, you know, whatever, Etsy, write the novel, weed the garden, you will feel defeated every day because you have not allotted yourself 24 hours worth of work. So that's your job. This next step is to work on it again and again and again and again and again until it equals 24 hours. What women tend to do is steal from sleep, exercise, and time with the Lord. Those are the fungible categories, and yet those are the most important categories, because we can't think straight, we can't respond the way we want to if we're underslept, out of physical shape, and not getting our souls fed with the Lord. So we all have different sleep needs. We all have different exercise desires and capabilities. So you need to, and we have seasons. You know, if you're nursing a baby, you're not going to get a full 8 hour sleep, right? If you're older like me, you're not going to be able to sleep longer than 6 hours or 5 hours. So you need to know yourself, be honest with yourself. You might not be able to prepare, if you're in a really busy season of work, you might have to hire out a bunch of meals or just go super simple with the dinner prep. When we were homeschooling 5 kids, I had a 5 day a week schedule, and every Monday was soup day, every Tuesday was pizza day, every Wednesday was taco day. That made my grocery shopping a lot easier. I wasn't fettered with decision making every day. I had a schedule. So there's all sorts of ways to tweak this. I'd love to be of help to you. It does require deciding that maybe in this season of life, I can work on the Italian, but sewing's just going to have to wait till summertime break, or writing the novel's going to have to happen in 15 minutes a day or not at all. You know, maybe. So anyway, I might not be able to read good fiction every week, or maybe I can only do it at night with my students. Might have to pull out of some of the committees at church, because if I'm doing well in the committees, but I'm snapping at my children and my house is a shambles and there's no food in the fridge, then church has usurped my more important commitment, which is to run a peaceful home. If I am snapping at my kids, picking them up, dropping them off, driving them to all their different activities, I might be managing to give them what they want, but what they don't want is a harried, stressed out, over committed mother driving them there and back. They're going to remember the look on my face, not whether or not they won the game. So this really requires some honesty with yourself about what can and cannot be accomplished. I want you to work at it again and again. I want you, when you see that you're trying to fit in 30 hours of week, I want you to say, aha, and tell me that you see it. Now you get it. Now you know why you feel so defeated when you go to bed every night and so overwhelmed when you wake up every morning, because you have set yourself up to fail every day. Even if you grit it out, you are going to be short on patience. You're not going to be filled with the Spirit. You are going to be running on fumes and flesh. And we don't want to live that way. And God doesn't want you to live that way. So go prayerfully before Him about what you can minimize the time amount of on a daily basis, what you can change the daily basis to a bi-weekly basis, what simply needs to go right now because it's more of a number, a pain reducer, because the rest of your life is so overwhelming. I didn't put anything in here about wasting time on social media or binging on Netflix. Those are all behaviors that probably will lose their appeal if you create a lovely rhythm to your day. Now, I am understanding that we have certain things that we must accomplish. We were called to them. We might have special needs child. We might have a parent who's in failing health. There are all sorts of things that are out of our control that God has called us to. We include those as well. We don't get to get rid of the kid or the parent, right? We might wish that their care did not take as much time, but the facts are the facts, correct? I might love to work fewer hours a week, but I'm the major breadwinner right now, so I need to work with the reality of my life and ask God, ask the Holy Spirit to help me be creative and wise, stewarding the 24 hours that He's given me. And please lean on me. I would love to help. Okay. Let me help. Call me up. I love working on this because it's so gratifying when you get it right. So you're going to tweak, and then you're going to come back. And I will see you at the next one, my friend. Good luck.